Good day. This is the second part of the series of participant-oriented evaluation approaches, and this is still under Robert Stake. Last time I have discussed continence model of Robert Stake. This one is another model from Robert Stake, responsive evaluation. So, if traditional or conventional evaluation methods are focused on the learning outcomes. Yeah, like the evaluation that we have inside the classroom, or focus on the objectives and the goals of the program. Responsive evaluation is more focused on program activities. Evaluation focuses more on the activities rather than intent or purposes, and this is developed by Robert Stake in 1975. So in stakes responsive model, we have stakeholders, which are the most important factor in deciding the evaluation issues. So what are the issues that should be evaluated and that should be decided by the stakeholders? The major contribution to curriculum evaluation and responsive if it focuses more on the activities of the program. So there are here is the three important things that we need to consider. So, when to decide what are the issues to be evaluated, we need the stakeholders. And this responsive model is a major contribution to curriculum evaluation. And I even see this in our lesson in the teacher and the and the school curriculum. Also, responsive, we can say that the evaluation is responsive if it focuses more on activities rather than the intentions or the goals of the program. So what are the characteristics of stakes responsive models? So this is not rigid and this is less formal because we want to focus on the activities. So, less formal and more pluralistic evaluation. Location emphasizes evaluation being conducted in settings where learning occurs. Improved communication, so the mode of response to emerging issues learned through interaction and observation. And qualitative techniques relies heavily on qualitative techniques. And what are these techniques? Observation, interviews, and other techniques. So these are the characteristics of stakes responsive model. Less formal, location should be based on the settings where the learning occurs or where the condition that the issue that you want to study is there. Improve communication because there is improved communication. There is an interaction between stakeholders when it comes to how programs or activities are going on with that program. And of course, the basis for uh, data is more on qualitative techniques. Here are the 12 original 12-step responsive evaluation model, and in the original manuscript or copy of Robert Stake when it comes to dealing with the responsive evaluation model, the steps that you need to take when doing responsive evaluation are um, seen as or arranged or organized this way. First, you need to talk with clients, program staff, or audiences. Okay, you need to gather them, talk to them, and then identify program scope, what needs to be evaluated, which program will be evaluated, and then overview program activities. What are the activities that are involved in that certain program? Then discover purposes or concerns. So, what are the issues that you need to evaluate? What are the issues that you need to evaluate? So, what are the purposes of the evaluation? Your team, the group of evaluators or the participants will help identify will be the one to identify the purposes of the evaluation. Then conceptualize issues or problems. So which problem will be focused on the evaluation? Identify data needs. Example in issues. So what are the data needed in order to evaluate that issue or the activities of the program? And then next, select observers, judges, instruments, if any. So you can select observers, judges, or instruments that you will use if that is applicable in your data collection. And then observe designated antecedents, transactions, and outcomes. So you still need this antecedents, transaction, and outcomes. You need to observe that during your evaluation using responsive evaluation model. After that, you need to thematize, prepare portrayals, or case studies. So how will you present what you have found out on the activities? And then validate, confirm, attempt to disconfirm. So after that, you you validate if what you have already thematized or what you have prepared to be portrayed or the studies that you want to do. Example, if you focus on case studies, so is that valid? Is it, you need to confirm it's important. And then we know format for audience use. So how will you be able to present that to your audience? And then assemble formal reports if any, and then you can proceed this as a cycle if you want to. However, this is the 12 step of the original responsive evaluation model. So when can we say that an evaluation is responsive? So first, if it orients more directly to program activities than to program intent. Second, it responds to audience requirements for information. And third, it refers to different value perspectives of the stakeholders when reporting success or failure of a program. What are the disadvantages of responsive evaluation model? It stresses complexity rather than simplicity. It is subjective because you are dealing with the stakeholders and there's perspective of the issues or the program that to be evaluated. Labor intensive, it takes time, not suitable for making generalizations or to developing theories. Yeah, because you focus only on certain program, on certain group of people, and hence that is not generalizable as to the data collected are more on qualitative data. And the advantages will be direct attention, different viewpoints, flexible focus, and good decision making. So if you can contextualize that into a certain program in a certain organization, you can give direct attention. The result of the evaluation can help the organization focus their attention to the real issue that they're facing during the implementation process or during the while the activities are going on with that program. Then you can hear different viewpoints from the stakeholders, what they can see with the activities. Is it effective? Is it working? Does it really uh, hit the or reach the objectives? And then flexible because you can approach to individuals, to your participants, in their own context. Then you can focus on the issues that you want to learn, and hence you can produce good decision making after or even during the study or the evaluation process. So here is an example of how responsive evaluation approach is used in research. So application of a responsive evaluation approach in medical education. So in this study, the methods of Robert Stake's responsive evaluation model from 12 original steps, um, the author modified it and reduced it to 5 steps only. So it focused on the stakeholder audience identification, consultation, and issues exploration. Second, stakeholder concern and issues analysis. Third, identification of evaluation standards and criteria, design and implementation of evaluation methodology, and data analysis and reporting. So you can also use this revised or modified 5 steps of responsive evaluation model in lieu to Robert Stake's original 12 steps responsive evaluation model. So here's another study, evaluation that respond, prescription, application, and implication of responsive evaluation theory for community college instructional support program. So the in this study, you can scan it because in at my end, this time is not so readable. So results indicate that responsive evaluation can be an effective model if evaluators consult program faculty and staff who in turn express an interest in building a collaborative evaluation, and if the purpose of the evaluation is to examine process-oriented issues. So this is also a significant result that will help us identify when to use responsive evaluation and how to use them. So you can scan this. So I hope this will help you prepare for your final paper, and may we can start already. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.